You're on the best of the Morning X. Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy. 99X.
Make us say, wow, let's do it right now.
These are the stories that you tell at the cocktail party that just has every ear in the room bent. Stories that are just so fascinating, so unbelievable that happened to you. It's the one story you pull out that just drops jaws.
Let's start with Morning X subscriber Brent.
Morning. How
Hey,
are
Brent, make us say, wow.
A couple years ago, my family and I, we lived in Panama, Republic of Panama, Central America, and a bunch of kids and I took some canoes out to paddle through the canal. It was actually going to be a week trip, 7 days, to head through the canal. And the very first day, we started out on the Atlantic side, and a storm came up. All the canoes kind of split up in all the different directions. And we just happened to notice that in the water beneath us, there were a bunch of hammerhead sharks and tiger sharks.
Not good.
Swimming through the water.
Now, this is, and you're canoeing through this.
Yeah, we're canoeing through it. We weren't expecting the storm to come up. It was a nice day when we started out. But the canoe started tipping over.
Oh.
We had a bunch of 12-year-old kids and kind of floating in the water with all the camping equipment and all these sharks swimming around underneath. And we were there for about 4 hours until the Marines actually came in helicopters and picked us up.
4 hours and no sharks bothered you?
No shark bites.
Did any of them swim by to where they brushed up against you?
Oh yeah. Well, actually, the canoes had flipped over, and so the canoes were full of water. But we were actually sitting in the canoes, and you could just see the sharks. I mean, they were just, swimming right around. These are huge sharks too. I mean,
My
were
heart would have been pounding
my
so
God.
hard.
And were there any close calls? I mean, at any point I picture what you're saying, how you were sitting in the canoe, but it was still kind of floating because they don't sink entirely.
No, they don't.
But at no point anybody fell out of the canoe like into the unprotected.
Well, the waves were getting really high because the wind was getting really strong, and that's what tipped the canoes over. So, when the canoe first tips over, everyone falls out, and your gear, because we had all of our camping equipment, was floating all over the place, and people were trying to get their stuff. But yet you're looking down, you're seeing these sharks. You're like, well, screw it. We're just gonna we'll just hop back in the canoe, and we won't worry about it.
Now, Barnes does not go in the ocean because of a shark attack.
Absolutely.
Not that it happened to him.
No.
But
one that he witnessed.
When I was at the beach in Corpus Christi.
It was interesting because after we had gotten back, this was a couple years ago when Jack Cousteau was still alive. He said that this particular area during that particular time was the most shark-infested area because of mating season.
And are hammerheads, I mean, I don't know, certain sharks are worse than others, are more aggressive than others. Is that considered a real aggressive shark, do you know? It
may be, but luckily that day they weren't too aggressive. But, how are you going to tell a little 15-year-old that, hey, don't worry, the sharks aren't going to bite you?
All you need to see is that dorsal fin. And
I can't really award a wow to this, though, because there's no... You know what I'm saying?
But then it took off my leg, and...
See, yeah, that would have been a wow. Unfortunately, there was no... it's scary, and I would be scared to death, but it's not really a wow. It's a good story, but not a wow, in my opinion.
Well, hey, I tried.
If you were there, I'm sure it was a wow. It was a holy if you were there.
Exactly.
I would... And I'm a pretty tough judge, but I would give it a wow, even though nobody... I mean, had there been an actual shark attack... That would have been a capital wow.
capital wow.
Exactly.
But thank you for your call, Brent.
That's a lowercase wow.
Christina.
Hi.
Hey,
make us say wow.
Make you say wow.
Yep.
When I was 10 years old, we were living in Indiana, and I had younger cousins. We were playing tag or something like that, and my older cousin and I got way ahead of everyone, and we thought we were running through sticker bushes because we had shorts on. It was during the summer, and we looked down, and we were covered by yellow jackets up to our knees.
Oh.
So we turned back around to run, and thank God my young cousins thought we were chasing them, so they got out of the way. And by the time we got back to my aunt and uncles were playing volleyball, we were covered from head to toe with yellow jackets.
Oh.
They were in our clothes. They even got bit in our mouth, on our eyes, everything. And my aunt and uncles were swiping them off of us, getting stung all over their hands and stuff. And they ran us inside to the bathroom and had the shower going, and they were ripping our clothes off because they were like in our clothes,
and were they stinging,
in our hair.
Were they stinging you the whole time?
The whole time. We were stung over 250 times, the doctor said.
What was on you that made them just flock to you?
We stepped on a yellow jacket's nest in the ground when we were running.
That's it?
They were mad
they do
because
that.
we've hurt their home, I guess. They're real territorial.
They're that smart?
Oh, yeah. If you disturb a beehive, you're in for trouble.
So you had to go to the hospital, obviously.
Oh, yeah. And they said that we got stung over 250 times. And a week later, or less than that probably, I had purple dots all over me and red dots. And I swelled up real big. And I couldn't see for a week or more.
A little siren goes off down there in the human alert. And they all just buzz out.
Yeah, they just attacked us. They just swarmed us.
Why couldn't you see? Was it
Her eyes
because
were swollen.
your eyes had swollen, or because there was
They were all over our face.
Ouch.
And afterwards, my face swelled up so bad I couldn't even see or anything. They were afraid that our throats were gonna swell up, so they kept us there overnight until the next day.
I don't, and yet I always see on these Fox shows the guy who wears the beard of bees.
Oh yeah, I can't watch that.
I can't watch that either.
Well, I guess he didn't step on their house though.
Still though, I cannot. Or anybody who's a beekeeper. Whenever I see beekeepers,
How do they do it?
I don't know.
Man,
That's a wow.
Thanks for the call.
Oh, thanks.
God.
Jenna?
Uh-huh.
Make us say wow.
Okay. I don't go to the beach anymore either.
Why?
What happened?
When I was 11, I went to the beach with a friend, and I got caught in a riptide and dragged further out to sea.
Oh.
And
What is that like when you get caught in a riptide? All of a sudden you just...
Does it pull you under?
It did, which is it was complicated by the fact that I can't swim.
Well, wait. What were you doing there? If you can't swim.
I was in the very shallow end. It was only up to my thighs.
It can take you under. It's that strong in the
your feet
ocean.
just start moving underneath you?
Oh yeah. I'm saying if I couldn't swim, knowing how that undertow can bring you out there, I wouldn't even set foot in the ocean.
Well,
but anyway,
I can float, but I can't really
Well, you didn't
do much more
realize.
than dog paddle.
All right.
But that's not the wild part. When I got towed out, I got attacked by a school or group or whatever you call them of jellyfish.
Oh.
And my heart stopped for
I've been
3
stung
minutes.
by one, but not a
school of
school.
Yeah.
So your
They just
heart stopped?
Yeah.
Oh, you
They
mean it
just-
literally stopped?
Yes. I
They
was allergic
affixed to your
the
body?
toxin.
They just affix to your body and sting you, or they brush up against you?
Yeah, they stuck themselves to me.
So, all right, so you're out in the water, and how far out are you?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know, because by that time I was unconscious. But I got picked up by people in a boat that
So
weren't
you're-
with me.
So your body floats to the surface,
Right.
and your heart is officially stopped.
Stopped.
So you are officially dead.
Yes.
For how long?
3 minutes.
Okay, we did a segment not unlike this a few months ago. We were talking to people who had died and had come back. Do you have any recollection of being dead?
Going to the other side?
I heard people talking, but
What were they saying?
I heard them saying, talking about me. But
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't see anything.
Those were probably the people attending you.
Yeah.
You
But
heard them
I didn't see anything.
from a distance almost.
Yeah.
One of the things that people have said when they die is, well, they see a light. They see this bright light. And somebody pointed out to me that when people are checking to see if somebody is dead, they usually take a little pen light or something and shine it in the person's pupil to see if there's dilation, because that helps determine, whether or not they're dead.
So subconsciously you think they're seeing the pin light?
So I think, subconsciously I think people may see that pen light and think, oh, I saw this bright light. Well, yeah, it's the light from the doctor trying to see if you were dead.
When you get stung by a school of jellyfish, what happens? You're in the hospital for a number of days?
Actually, I went to the doctor. I didn't have insurance, so I didn't go to the hospital. But they woke me up and they took me to my own doctor.
Now, if you say you heard voices, and I think it's reasonable to assume those were the voices of the people trying to revive you, you couldn't have been dead if you could hear voices.
That seems strange, but I guess if you can float above your own body and hear the voices, you can...
Ah,
Yeah.
That's true.
So you had
good.
just left your body just a little bit.
Right.
Okay.
All right, thanks,
Freaky.
Jenna.
Never get back in the water after that.
Molly,
Yes.
make us say wow.
Hey, guys. Well, when I was in high school, I wore contact lenses and I slept with them at night. So woke up one night, my eyes were really dry. I just reached over in the dark, grabbed the contact solution and poured it in my eyes. Mm-hmm. Well, my eyes started burning and just really in a lot of pain. I started yelling for my parents. Come to find out, I had unscrewed a bottle of fingernail polish and poured it into both my eyes.
Oh.
It was a nightmare. I was in so much pain.
Oh, my God.
I know. It was rough.
Did it do any residual damage?
Well, no, but we called. My parents got on the phone. One was talking to, I guess it was poison control. One was on the phone with a doctor. And we had to get my contacts out of my eyes.
I'm sure they were
with all the
stuck.
fingernail polish in there. And so anyway, finally, they took me to the hospital. You know, there's no permanent damage, but for all my hair fell out. You know, all my eyelashes fell out, all my eyebrows. You know, I had to wear glasses for about 2 months. Couldn't see for about a week or so. It was pretty rough, guys.
Ouch.
Did they just have to douse you with water nonstop?
Yeah, as soon as that's what poison control said, that my parents grabbed me, took me into the bathroom, literally just stuck my head under the faucet for about an hour. And then, you know, finally they got the contacts out, and that's when I went to the hospital.
Wow. All right.
It was pretty rough.
Glad you're all right. Glad you can see.
Thank you, Molly.
Thanks, guys.
One last one. Shane.
Yes.
Make us say wow.
All right. I have been dating my current girlfriend for about 3 years, and we've known each other for about 7. And I was over, this was a couple years ago, I was over at her parents' house, and we were looking through old family photos. And she's got pictures of when she and her family, it was in, I think, June of '79, they went to Walt Disney World. And I said, that's funny, I was there at the same time. And so we were flipping through pictures, and she's got a picture of her on this slide. And I said, I recognize that slide. That was at the Polynesian Palace. We stayed there. And so we're flipping through, and she turns the page, and there's a picture of her and me standing right next to each other.
Were you posing or just in the picture?
No, her parents were taking a picture of her.
And
I was in the background.
I have got chills.
This
I know.
is so
How
wild.
random.
So she has a picture of you two when you were kids, and you didn't even know each other.
I met her in '91.
And you just met in '91. You've
And
been
the
dating
picture
for
was of June of '79.
You got to marry this girl.
And you were both on
If that's not
vacation as a
destiny,
woman.
I don't know what it is.
That's
I mean,
fate.
that is what is known as beshert.
Yeah.
that is incredible.
Unbelievable.
That's a wow. Thanks,
That's
Shane.
a wow.
thank you.
See you later. That
I mean,
wraps
I
it.
love that story.
That's cool.
It's nice to end on a good note, don't
Yes,
you think?
it is.
I am 99X when I start my day. Bonds, Levy, and Jim will always play my favorite song. And make me smile. There's just one setting on my dial. Well, here's the roll call. Leslie with celebrity sneeze and the news. Jimmy, he's a smarty pants, one of our favorite Jews. Bonds, he's a hardcore rock and roll maniac. Tommy Lee wannabe, always on his back. Bondsology, 99X when I start my day. Crash, Clark, Pepper, and Queen on the way to make an average morning all worthwhile. There's only one setting on my dial. Setting on my dial. Setting on my dial.
The Morning X with Barnes, Leslie, and Jimmy.
The best of the Morning X. 99X.